Okay, we've given 5 minutes and no one has gotten on. You can go ahead and start, Ms. Park.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I would call Shonda Rumbaugh.
Ms. Rumbaugh, would you raise your right hand, please? You solemnly swear and or affirm that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the penalties for perjury in the state of Kansas.
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Park.
Thank you. Please state your name.
Shonda Marie Rumbaugh.
And Shonda, are you a resident of Ellis County?
Yes.
Have you been a resident of the state of Kansas for the last 60 days?
Yes.
You are currently married to Bruce Rumbaugh, is that correct?
Yes.
And have you filed a petition for divorce asking for a divorce from Bruce?
Yes.
And in your petition, you alleged that you and Bruce were incompatible, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you believe that you and Bruce are still incompatible and that incompatibility prevents you from continuing in your marriage relationship?
Yes.
You and Bruce are the owners of real estate and personal property, and you have some debts. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk first about your real estate. You and Bruce jointly own the residence at 206 East 23rd Street in Hayes. Is that correct?
Yes.
You and Bruce separated from one another July 27th of 24, correct?
Yes.
And since July 27th of 24, who has resided in the marital residence?
Bruce.
Okay, and Bruce continues to reside in the marital home, is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. You are asking the court to set that marital residence aside and give that to Bruce as his property, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And as a equalization of the equity in that home, you are asking the court to award you a judgment of $30,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
That home has a mortgage against it. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're asking that the court set that aside to Bruce and make him solely responsible for that debt.
Yes.
In addition to the real estate, you and Bruce also have personal property. With regard to the personal property, are you asking the court to set aside to you all of the tangible items that you currently have in your possession?
Yes.
Were there some property items that were left in the home after you separated?
Yes.
that belonged to you?
Yes.
Okay. So those are listed in the temporary orders, but they are your rocking chair, your headboard and footboard and bed frame, your childhood items that are in the attic, half of the Christmas items that are in the attic, your high chair that was in the attic, and your armoire that was in the basement. Is that right?
Yes.
And as far as you know, those items are still in Bruce's residence,
Yes.
correct? You would like the court to set those items aside to you, is that right?
Yes.
Now, you have a temporary order that allows you to retrieve those items as well. Have you had any success in doing that?
No.
Currently, there is a protection order in place between you and Bruce.
Yes.
And so you had contacted law enforcement to help you retrieve those items from Bruce's residence, correct?
Yes.
And they indicated they were short-staffed and were unable to help you.
Yes.
Okay. So you'd like that order to continue to be in the final decree so that you can ask for assistance from law enforcement on another date to retrieve those items?
Yes.
In the alternative, is you and Bruce's son, Callan, willing to help you retrieve those items?
Yes.
So would you like the court to order that Bruce release those items to Callan instead of, or as an alternative if law enforcement isn't able to help you retrieve them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are also asking the court to award you your 2007 Ford Edge vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes.
You and Bruce are joint owners of that vehicle currently. Is that right? Both of your names are on the title?
Just Bruce's is on the title.
Okay, just Bruce's name is on the title. Can you explain to the court what has happened thus far with transferring the title over to you for that 2007 Ford Edge?
Bruce at one time signed the title, but then I realized that later that he signed the wrong line on the title. So he did sign the correct line, but when I went in to get my tags and taxes paid for, they told me down at the
Treasurer's office.
treasurer's office that the top portion of the title information wasn't filled out yet by Bruce. And then they gave me another form that Bruce has to fill out to correct the part where he signed the wrong line.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure. So Bruce has signed the title. It's just that there is
It's
an error
incomplete, and then there's an error. So
Okay.
there's another
portion that he has
portion
to
that
do.
he has to fill out.
Okay. So are you asking the court to order Bruce to complete that form and to,
Correctly, yes.
yeah, and to finish the paperwork required to transfer title of that vehicle over to you?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I have that paperwork at my office. So I will keep it here for maybe a few days, and hopefully Mr. Rumbaugh will come in and do that. But in the alternative, we would ask that the court order that a corrected title be issued to her. And I'll try to just put that in the decree, that maybe we can get this resolved without his involvement if he chooses not to comply.
Why don't you give him 3 weeks to get in and get that done?
Okay.
3 weeks from after he receives all your divorce decree and journal entry by certified mail.
Okay.
Send it to him certified mail, give him 3 weeks. If he has not complied, then Department of Motor Vehicles and Department of Revenue can sign over a new title.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Shonda, just to clean up a few more things here. You're also asking for all of your intangible personal property that's in your name to be set aside to you. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that would include all bank accounts in your name, life insurance policies in your name, and retirement accounts in your name, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then anything that you've acquired since you separated in July of 2024, you would ask that that be set aside to you.
Yes.
With regard to Bruce's property, you're asking the court to set aside to him any tangible personal property that's in his possession. Is that right?
Yes.
With the exception of those items that we listed that he still has of yours.
Yes.
Okay. And so that would include all of his tools. And then he also owns firearms and ammunition. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's your understanding that during the period of the protection order, he's not allowed to possess those things.
Right.
But we would ask the court to set those aside to him at some future time when he's able to possess them.
Yeah.
We're also asking the court to set aside to him all of his intangible personal property, like his bank accounts, any life insurance in his name, etc.
Yes.
Okay. There is also a 2006 Dodge Ram 3500 that you're asking be set aside to Bruce,
Yes.
and a 2002 Dodge Ram that you're asking to be set aside to Bruce. And then there's also a trailer that should be set aside to him as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also any property that he's acquired since July of 2024, that should be set aside to him.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. With regard to the debts, you would like the court to order that you be responsible for the Transcend financial personal loan that you took out for your son's tools. Is that right?
Yes.
And then you would be responsible for any medical bills that were attributable to your treatment.
Yes.
And then any debts that are in your name only, or debts that you've incurred since July of 2024.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, July 27th. With regard to Bruce's debts, we would ask that the court set aside the mortgage note and make him responsible for that and hold you harmless from that note.
Yes.
That he be responsible for any medical bills related to his own treatment, and that that you have judgment against him for the $30,000 in equity in the marital home.
Yes.
Okay. That he should have any other debts that are in his name only, or any debts that he incurred since July 27th of 2024, correct? Okay. finally, the two of you had some pets, you had some dogs together, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the dogs have been residing at the marital residence with Bruce?
Yes.
And you are asking the court to set those dogs aside to him, but that if he were not able to take care of them anymore, that he would give you the opportunity or basically inform your son, and that you and your son would take care of the dogs if he could not.
Yes.
Okay. And that neither party will pay spousal support to the other, correct?
What was that again? Sorry.
Neither of you will pay spousal support or alimony to
Yes,
one another,
correct.
correct? Okay. Finally, in addition to the motion for default judgment, we also filed a motion to allow you to file your taxes separately, correct?
Yes.
And as you understand it, there was a temporary order in place that required or that prevented either of you from filing taxes without an agreement or a court order. And you filed an extension, and you would just ask the court for permission to file a separate tax return for 2024. Is that right?
Yes.
And you do not wish to have your maiden name restored to you, correct?
Correct.
Okay, Your Honor, that is all my questions that I have.
Okay. Ms. Rumbaugh, do you believe that the division of property is fair, just, and equitable between you and Mr. Bruce Rumbaugh?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
believe that the debt set aside that you've testified to is fair, just, and equitable to both yourself and Mr. Bruce Rumbaugh?
Yes.
And you believe that there is a $30,000 equity in the home that is, or a $60,000 equity in the home that you're entitled to your half or $30,000 in equity?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, we evaluated the value of the marital residence at $182,600. And the mortgage note is approximately $90,000.
Okay, the court finds that the plaintiff has resided in the state of Kansas 60 days prior to filing for the divorce. The divorce action itself was filed on November 22nd, 2024. Personal service was obtained through certified mail on Mr. Bruce Rumbaugh on December 16th, 2024. He has not filed an answer, and therefore he is in default in this matter. The court will award the divorce based on incompatibility. Court will set aside the property, as you've testified, with the spousal residence going to Bruce, along with the debt for that spousal residence, that he pay you $30,000 as an equity payment, being half of the equity in the home. The personal property items you listed in your motion in paragraph 4B will be set aside to you. You may obtain those either by law enforcement standby or with the assistance of your son, Callan. His personal property is set aside to him. The debts are set aside as you have testified. You're assuming the loan for Daniel's tools. Bruce is assuming the mortgage, and in any other bills that you have since your separation. There is no maintenance ordered to either party. Your request to file taxes separately is granted by the court. Also, Ms. Rumbaugh, even though your divorce is final today, either party can file an appeal within 30 days. So do not remarry within 30 days.
Okay.
If there is an appeal filed, wait until the appeal is finalized before you remarry. Okay?
Okay.
And Ms. Park, if you'll put together the orders, particularly on that Fort Edge, give him 21 days from when he receives all the paperwork and send it to him certified mail again. That seems
will.
to be a way to correspond with him. He has 21 days to come in and sign it all at your office, or Department of Revenue and Department of Motor Vehicles can reissue title in her name.
Okay, I will, Your Honor.
Okay. And you'll take care of all the paperwork.
I will, Your Honor. I've got it almost finished, and I'll add those changes to it and I'll upload it for you.
Okay. Anything further for the record today, Ms. Park?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Ms. Rumbaugh, good luck to you,
Thank you.
and we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Okay.